It's time for my monthly book haul. If you're new, I make this video once a month. We have 63 books that I acquired in this last month of September. So kind of insane, but let's break down where they're all from, how I got them, how much I spent, and at the end we'll do a grand total of how much I spent on all of the books as well as the average spent per book, and the total might surprise you. So right now, take a guess, comment down below how much you think I spent. I will say I purchased and acquired 28 books on my own, and that is the haul that we're going to do. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about the 35 books that I also received from publishing houses and go over which publishers and imprints to look into if you were also a book creator and you want to get more involved. I'll be giving some advice on which publishing houses I'm part of and how to apply and all of that, any commonly asked questions and whatnot. But I do also want to highlight those books and say thank you to the publishers. So they're at the end. We're going to focus on the 28 books first, and the total for how much I spent will be from the 28 books. Yeah, if you like book hauls and talking about books, I think you would love my videos. So definitely follow and check out my book talk and Bookstagram, Goodreads, all of that will be down below. We have so many exciting titles to get to today, a lot of new releases and indie arcs and all of that. So let's dive right on into these. We have 4 categories for the month of September, starting with Barnes & Noble. I posted a short form video on TikTok and hopefully YouTube by now of me buying 100 books at Barnes & Noble. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend, but I did end up coming home with 2 books. I ended up buying Our Infinite Fates, which I have heard amazing things about, so I definitely wanted to grab this title. Look at how beautiful these gold edges are. And then I also have been wanting to read The Tenant since it came out, so I got this as well. I had a birthday gift card that I have been waiting to cash in, as well as $5 off and my Barnes & Noble membership. So with all of those discounts, my total that I ended up spending on these 2 only came out to $6.68, which is insane. September was the month that I discovered Pango. If you have never heard of Pango, consider this your warning, because this total is the highest out of any category for the month. It was just way too easy. It's like a Depop except books. People can just list their used books for sale on this platform, and with Apple Pay, it's like a couple of buttons. I ended up buying 5 books for the month. Also, I do have a discount code, so if you've never used Pango before, this is not sponsored. I think most people just get like a referral code when they sign up. So if you want to use mine and get $5 off your first purchase, definitely go check out my code, download Pango. I mean, this is such a great deal. I wish I had someone's referral code when I purchased these books because it would have made a difference. I ended up buying 5 books though. These are all indie self-published versions of a series that Bloom is currently working on traditionally publishing. So I wanted to grab these before it became harder to find. It is none other than the Wicked Villain series. So if you've heard of these books, you know. I got Desperate Measures. These are all by Katie Roberts. Learn My Lesson, A Worthy Opponent, The Beast. And if you haven't heard of the Wicked Villain series, these are like dark, spicy romances with the Disney villains. So like this is with The Beast, Gaston, and Belle. Oh my god. And then Queen Takes Rose. I already own the Sea Witch, so I just wanted to complete the self-published versions. These covers are like matte. I love the feeling of these covers. They're beautiful, and while I'm excited for them to be traditionally published, I definitely want these. All of these were like $8 to $9 each. Some sellers sent over offers, like it was really fun. So my total for the books that I bought off of Pango comes out to $47.50. So worth it though. Now I will say I did something I'm not proud of in the month of September. Now I have a good reason for it, but category number 3 is Amazon. And the only reason I did this is because I was searching high and low for this very specific self-published book. I could not find this anywhere, and because it's not traditionally published, it was really hard to find, and Amazon had it. That's my excuse. I'm so sorry. I know, I feel guilty about it, but I started reading Haunting Adeline, and somebody left a comment saying that there's a prequel that I need to read first, otherwise the plot twist or the ending of the prequel gets spoiled in the duet. So I had to order Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton. I'm currently reading this right now. I'm gonna finish it in no time. I don't know what to say. It's definitely dark. wild story. I'm scared. I'm really scared, but it's fun to read this time of year because it follows like a traveling Halloween haunted house show, and they're all like characters in it. Obviously that's like the G-rated version of the plot. I guess you'll have to stay tuned for my reading wrap up on my final thoughts on this, but I did end up ordering this off Amazon just because it was self-published and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I got caught because in my saved for later, which I do as a coping mechanism sometimes, one of the books I had in my saved for later was only $5, so couldn't resist that. I got Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert as well. And my total for this category came out to $19.69. I'm I'm sorry about it. Category number 5 is thrifted. I ended up thrifting, I believe, 19 books this month. Oh wait, I also did want to mention that a sweet friend and subscriber, Heather, sent over every time I go on vacation someone dies. I just want to say thank you to Heather because she saw this in a little free library and thought I would enjoy it and took time out of her day and money to ship this to me. So thank you so much, Heather. I cannot wait to read this. And that is a book that I acquired in the month of September. So I wanted to highlight that as well. Now, moving on to the thrifted books. I ended up thrifting and purchasing books 3 different times. I went to my local nonprofit and ended up buying Tom Lake, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This was hiding in the kids section, by the way, so just your sign to check the kids section at thrift stores because you never know what books are hiding in there that shouldn't really be in there. Hidden Bodies. This might have been from the bins, actually. I got this at the bins. Girl in Pieces. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. When Stars Are Scattered, and The Radium Girls, which I have heard so many amazing things about, specifically from Carly and Contro. She has talked about this book for years, and I'm so glad that I finally found a copy. I cannot wait to read it. And then I went to Goodwill twice and ended up purchasing a indie version of One by One by Frida McFadden. I love finding her self-published versions out there in the wild because since then Poison Press has been traditionally publishing them, so these are such cool collectibles to me, and this is one that I haven't read yet, so I cannot wait to read it. The Winter People, as well as Kristen Hanna's Night Road. I found Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood, The Unhoneymooners, another Kristen Hanna book on Mystic Lake. I have heard so many people say great things about this one, so I cannot wait to read that. Ruin and Rising is the 3rd book in this Shadow and Bone. I don't know what the series is called, but the first one is, yeah, Shadow and Bone trilogy. I thrifted the first 2, so when I saw the 3rd book, I had to get it. I found Heartstopper, Son of a Witch, which I think is the last Gregory Maguire book that I have to collect, and I love his books and their covers because the covers always have this really fun, like, pop-up that kind of show like 2 different visuals. I love it. I think it's so fun. I found 3 hardcovers. I got Sally Hepworth's The Younger Wife. I love Sally Hepworth books, so I cannot wait to read that. And then I found The Women by Kristen Hanna and The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Those were all the books that I thrifted this last month, and my total for this category comes out to $42.07. But those are all the books that I acquired in the month of September. Again, that was 28 books, and the grand total for how much I spent on these, let me know how close your guess was, comes out to $115.94. Honestly, not bad. If you break that down and divide it by 28 books, the average spent per book only comes out to $4.14, which honestly I feel like is pretty good. Because if I saw one of these books out in the wild for $4, I would be like, that's an amazing deal. I consider it a pretty good month. But moving on, let's talk about the 35 books that I got sent from publishers this last month. I just want to say thank you to all the publishing houses that sent over books. And then if you're also in the book space and looking for more programs to get into, write down these publishing houses and imprints because these are the programs that I'm a part of. At the end of this haul of all the books I got sent, I'll talk more about what programs I'm in, how to get in, when to apply, and all of that. But let's start with the 11 ARCs that I got sent this last month because ARCs are so fun and special to me. I consider them like collectibles since you can't just go out and purchase them. They're basically a final draft of a book that hasn't come out yet, and I really prioritize these reads because the purpose of receiving ARCs is to help promote them when they're released. So it's my job to try to read them and review them as fast as I can. Bloom Publishing sent over a highly anticipated ARC that I cannot believe I'm holding in my hands, Wild Card by Elsie Silver. I remember watching my favorite book creators get Wild Love and Wild Eyes, like the arc of that, and being just so envious that they were at that point. I'm so grateful and proud of myself that I am now finally holding Wild Card myself because this is hard to get into. It's hard to get accepted to. This is a highly like sought out arc and there are so many limited prints of these. Very proud of this one. And then Bloom Young Adult sent over Tell Me Softly as well. I didn't know Bloom has young adult books. I think it's relatively new, but that's exciting. Atria sent over, I believe, 8 ARCs. I got Emily Austin's Is This a Cry for Help? I love Emily Austin so much, so this was also a huge milestone moment for me. This book comes out in January, but I cannot wait. Atria also sent over A Slow and Secret Poison. I think this cover is absolutely beautiful. Nothing Tastes as Good. Two Kinds of Stranger. This book doesn't come out until March 24th, so like some of these are definitely very advanced copies of the books, but just helpful because it gives me more time to read them. All We Have Is Time. This one comes out February 24th. A Danger to the Mind of Young Girls. This comes out December 9th. Deathbringer. This one comes out February 10th. Ruinious Creatures, again, I'm obsessed with this cover, and this book comes out in March. Those were all the arcs from Atria. Now, Celadon also sent over one arc this month. This one comes out in January, but it's called Why We Drink Too Much, and honestly, I'm super intrigued and cannot wait to read this. Now moving on to the finished copies of books that different publishers sent over. Canary Street Press sent over Amy Dawes' new release, Last on the List. This is a millionaire single dad nanny trope romance, and it sounds so good. And I also am obsessed with these edges. Like, if you're gonna do sprayed edges like this is the way to do them. Like, make them super fun. Sourcebooks Casablanca sent over Sarah Kate's new book, The Good Girl Effect. Again, super fun edges with this, and I cannot wait to read it. And then Mirror Books sent over 2 books. We got Spellcaster, beautiful cover and edges. I cannot wait. I've heard really good things about Spellcaster. And then The Guest in Room 120 as well. This looks like such a good thriller. Atria also sent over 8 finished copies of books. So I have Hopelessly T-Voted, which I need to read this month in October for sure. Every Step She Takes. I love this author, so I cannot wait to read this new book by her. How to Break My Heart. The Life and Legacy of Jane Birkin, It Girl. This is like an autobiography, and it looks so good. The Wasp Trap. Keep This For Me, which kind of low-key looks terrifying, but so good. Scream With Me. This is about horror films and the rise of American feminism from 1968 to 1980. I'm so intrigued. And The Bells. I got 2 books from indie authors this last month as well. Britain sent over Pink Frontier, which sounds so good. If you have not seen or heard about this book yet, I highly recommend looking it up because the synopsis is just giving me all the fun vibes, and I cannot wait to read this. She also signed it and gave me a bunch of goodies. And then AJ Wynn sent over her newest release, Last Chance Christmas. Again, signed it, handwritten card, stickers, all the goodies. AJ Wynn has been so kind to me the last couple of years, so I'm very excited to help support and promote her third, crazy, she's already on her 3rd release book, Last Chance Christmas. Arndell, I think is how you pronounce that imprint, sent over The Stopover by T.L. Swan. I've heard really good things about this, so I can't wait to read that. And then Harper Perennial sent over this collection of essays called Uncanny Valley Girls, which I'm also very excited for. Cosmo Reads sent over Female Fantasy, which looks so good, and Lila Sage has the little blurb on the cover, so I'm pumped for this. Books are sliding all over the place on my couch. Kayla Yu, the author of Fetishized, actually reached out personally, but this is with Crown Publishing. And then Plume Publishing, which is an imprint through Dutton Publishing, sent over this Taylor Swift themed planner called Your Year, Your Version, and it's a guided journal and planner. I think it looks so cute. They also sent over this duology or series, but so far it's 2 books, Groove and Fever. And then Neil Patrick Harris's Recipes for Cocktails and Mocktails, Both Sides of the Glass. And then I worked with Kindle on a couple of campaigns on TikTok and Instagram this last month. So for the campaign, they sent over 2 books for me, Variation and The Spy Coast. Now, those were all the books that I got sent from different publishers though. So I highly recommend looking into Atria, because Atria, like you saw, sent over the most books. They are so generous and kind with all of their selections. And I have such a wide variety of genres and authors with them. So highly recommend Atria, Celadon as well, and then Dutton Publishing, because not only do you get books through Dutton, you get Plume Publishing, which is an imprint as well. And then any source books, like Sourcebooks itself, Sourcebooks Casablanca, Sourcebooks Fire, and Bloom Publishing, they're all part of the same program. I got the collection of essays from Harper Perennial through the program The Hive, and The Hive is also how I got the Mira books as well. I love The Hive. They have been so kind to me since I was like a much smaller book creator, so I highly recommend looking into The Hive as well. And the way that I was notified and applied and got into all of these programs is by following all of these publishers on social media to see when they open up their applications, because it typically only happens about once a year, and we are honestly coming up on that time of year, because by the end of the year is usually when they're looking for a fresh collection of creators to join their program for the following year. So be sure that you are active and following them on all of their socials so that you can see when they announce it, because sometimes it fills up fast. But that is how I got into all of these programs, is just seeing it posted on their social media and like running to apply. The other thing too is when you are applying, they will most likely ask you to link reviews to their books. So just make sure that you are an active reader already. You don't have to be reading their books, but I do think that it helps. Like with Atria, I had so many links to other Atria published books that I absolutely loved that I could show. Like for years, I have been a fan of their books. I really do think that helped me get into their program. And then for Bloom, like I was saying, receiving Wildcard was like such a major accomplishment to me. For arcs like this, they ask you to link reviews to the other books by the author or in the series, so I had to link my reviews to Wild Love and Wild Eyes. Clearly, don't lie in your reviews and give 5 stars to a book that you don't like, but I love Elsie Silver and I love this series, so the 5-star reviews for the other books by her are genuine, and that is what helped me get this book. I firmly believe it. But yeah, overall, biggest advice here is to follow all these publishers online, and I hope this gave you a fresh set of publishing houses and imprints to look into that have amazing titles. If you recognized any of these titles or thought that they looked good, which ones do you think I should read first? Because I'm overwhelmed but so excited to read all of these books. But that is the haul for September. 63 books. It's less than last month, but still a lot. I'm so pumped to read them all though, so thanks so much for watching. Definitely subscribe, and I'll see you here soon with a new video. Bye!